Back with another one. Today I'm going to give you a quick review and a few more thoughts on the Alto Nights. The Alto Nights is directed by Barry Levinson, who is probably best known for Rain Man, which came out in 1988, and Sleepers, which came out in 1996. Alto Nights stars Robert De Niro and tells the story of two notorious organized crime bosses and their conflict to control New York City streets. My thoughts from the trailer were, we see Robert De Niro in another mafia movie. I'll bite. Come on, let's see what you got. Plus, I wanted to see how Robert De Niro will pull off playing two different characters, and if this film is using that almost as the gimmick, or will this film be focused around and centered around writing and telling a good story. I think De Niro nailed playing both characters in this film. They look different, they sound different. I mean, you can still see and hear De Niro in both characters, but they're different enough to where it's not confusing and you can keep up with the story. I believe he did pretty good playing two separate people. I mean, I believe De Niro is in his 80s? Still showing up to work and giving solid performances. Like, one of the best for sure. And like I mentioned before, Robert De Niro, mafia movie, we're gonna show up for that. That's just the way it is. So I'm seeing a lot of people call this movie boring, and I'm not sure if I really agree with that. I mean, I'm not too sure what people were expecting going into this. I mean, it's a mafia movie based in the 50s. There's going to be heavy dialogue. It's a story based on real people and real life events, starring an 80-something-year-old De Niro. I mean, like, what did you expect? It's not going to have the same direction and tone of like an Avengers movie or something. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were a few dry spots in this movie, but overall, this movie wasn't boring, though, but that's just how I feel. That's just my opinion, I think the narration component supported the film in many ways. Like, it helps drive the plot. Alto Nights feels like a documentary film type of thing, so the narration helps summarize certain events and helps with the overall pacing. And right off the back, Alto Nights starts with an important action sequence, and the rest of the film is centered around that event. So you see what happened, but more importantly, you learn why it happened. The scenes that had both De Niro's together were entertaining, especially as the plot thickens. You see friends turn into enemies. One wants out of the game, while the other one wants everything he feels he deserves, and he makes quick work out of anyone who stands in his way. But you can't sleep on the other one either, though. He will outsmart you. He always has something up his sleeve, so it's just entertaining to see that work. And like I mentioned earlier, visually, I think it's good that there's a clear contrast between each De Niro so you don't get confused. The courtroom scene. I really like the courtroom scene. I won't say too much. I don't want to spoil it, but that scene stood out the most to me. It was like the climax of the film, and De Niro really showcased his chops the entire sequence. And for my factual opinion, I would just say tighten up the green screen on a couple of scenes that had the De Niros together. There was one scene in particular where the background was clearly not real, and it's not the end of the world, but I would just say, tighten that up a little bit. And I would probably say like the mask or the makeup, the face suit of a particular character, tighten that up a little bit, because like the neck part was kind of just sitting on his collar, like it was obvious, it was noticeable. It was an eyesore, At first I thought I missed something, like, damn, what happened to his neck? Like, it's swole as hell. When the credits were rolling, we saw the real photos of the characters and the facts of how things ended up for everybody involved. That type of stuff is always cool to me, you know what I'm saying? I like to see the real people, the real facts, the real thing, If I had to rate and categorize the Alto Nights, I would give it a 7 out of 10, and it's worth a watch. And those are my thoughts on the Alto Nights. If you've seen it, leave a comment down below what you felt about the film. How does this mafia movie hold up to you? Did De Niro execute portraying two different people? Whatever you feel, leave it down in the comments. I'm reading every one of them. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.